Hello everybody, today I have a package from BMC3D. Now I've already opened it to kind of save some time here, because this thing was a pain to open for some reason, the glue around it and everything. But there we go, let's dump that out. Okay, so we have a business card from BMC3D. We have what appears to be a sticker, if I can pick the thing up. Okay, now let's get this all sorted out. Okay. Alright, now, this is stuff on this side that they have listed on their website. This, I don't know where they got this from. And these I put in for a custom print. These were files that I found on Thingiverse. Okay, so, what do we got here? Well, first of all, I don't know if it's because this was my first order or what. I don't know how they work this, but I did get a couple of extras here. Got a piece of forever tube with the caps and 4 Xt60 covers, and these are for, you know, charged, not charged, so you can keep track of your batteries. Well, I have a different method of keeping track of my batteries, but these would come in handy if I had enough of them. Being that there's only enough for 2 batteries, it won't help much. But yeah, these are pretty nice. Let's see, I got an Xt60 plug right here off of a battery that died, and these go right on there. Yep, they ain't going nowhere. They're nice and snug. They fit really nice. Check the red ones. Yep, they're nice and snug. Yep, you can tell which batteries are charged and which ones are not. So those are extras, and thanks for that, BMC3D. Okay, so this was listed on their website. And by the way, all this stuff is for the Armattan Badger frame, which I have the 5-inch version here. And that's what I ordered this for. This is a front bumper. This goes on the front of the camera cage, on the lower part of the camera cage, and it mounts onto this crossbar on the bottom of the cage, and there's a hole that goes through that you mount that to. Now I don't know if I can use this with this camera. This is a large mini camera with a large 1.8mm lens, so I don't know if this is going to actually work with this camera. If it doesn't, then I'll just have to get a different camera before I use this. But hopefully I can make it work with this camera. So we'll find out about that. Now this was on their website already. This they listed on their website as well. This is a mini to micro camera mount. So if I take and put a micro camera in here instead of this mini camera, that's what these would be for. And these have a slot. Let's see if I can find the slot on these right there. And that slips onto what Armattan calls their camera saver mount. Just slips onto that, and then you got 2 holes for your camera right there for a mini camera. So those there are nice. I'll not be using those immediately because I do have a mini camera in here instead of a micro. If I ever change that, then I'll have those mounts ready to go. This here, they did not actually list this on their website from what I had found, but I had talked to them through email about a custom prints, and I told them I wanted just something that I can hold my forever tubes onto the back of my Badger frame for my receiver. And what they did have was something that held an SMA mount as well as the forever tube mount, and I didn't want to use a different type of mounting for my antenna at this time, so I wanted to retain this mounting, the original mounting from the Armattan Badger. So I talked to them about an option for that, and this is what they sent me. I don't know if they had this on their website already. I never saw it, but they might have had this in their arsenal of files, or they found it somewhere else. I have no idea, but I got it. And this actually has a taper in it. It has the square holes, and it has a taper right here on this end that matches this rear tower mount, the aluminum mount, right here on the back of the Badger frame. And the taper on this is exactly the same as the taper on this. So this you just take this off, slip it up on there, and screw this back down, and it should stay in place. It looks like it's a really tight fit, so I don't think it's going to go anywhere. So that's good. I actually like that idea. No extra screws to hold it on or anything like that. So far, no screws hold anything on except for these hold onto your camera mount. That's it. This goes onto that bar, goes onto the bar on the Armattan Badger, so that's not actually screwed on. It's actually just held on by the bar. This isn't screwed on. It's held on by the standoffs in the back. So let's go to the next thing. These are the prints that I had sent them links to the files from Thingiverse. And this is right here, prop strike protectors. And these go over your motor wires. And these are held on by zip ties. There's notches on either side for the zip ties. And they look like they're going to work out quite nice. They're the perfect width to fit the arm. 16 millimeter, I think it is. And these here are arm protectors along with a landing skid. So this just slips on over top of here, and this is also held on by a zip tie right around here. It's got a little ledge there that, you know, helps hold the zip tie in place. And also this is notched in here to fit over the arm, so it's actually held on around here, and it's held on by a zip tie here. And plus with this, these don't, this doesn't actually screw on. This actually fits where your screws are accessible, and you don't have to use longer screws to put this on. This just fits around your screws, not your screws don't have to go through it. So the holes are big enough for your screws. I don't know if you can see that there, but I didn't want to have to use longer screws, and I didn't want to have the soft mount situation or anything like that. So that's why I ordered these. Now these here are bottom skids for the center of the Badger. These go right here. These also do not interfere with your screws. You don't have to screw this on. It is held on by zip ties as well. And there's two of these. One goes in the front, one goes in the back, just like that. And these have a notch on either side here to run the zip tie through and zip tie it on. Now these here, and probably these here, I have some really thin double-sided tape. I might be putting some of that on here on either end of this, and also probably right here on this part, maybe up in here, I don't know. I might cut it out to where it'll fit the thing perfectly, and see if that'll work to help hold these on just in case the zip tie breaks. So there's all the pieces I got. So let's look at print quality, and I can tell you that this print quality is quite exceptional. It does look really nice. I don't see any flaws whatsoever. And that scratch right there, I actually ended up scratching that. Dropped it, trying to catch it, and ended up scratching it. But it's going to get scratched up anyway flying. Same thing with this one. Really nice print quality. No problems there. These things here. The only thing I've noticed about these right here is right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. There is a little hole going through that spot right there. I seriously do not think this has anything to do with BMC3D's print quality. This, I think, this little hole here was part of the file, because every single one of these things has the exact same hole. So this has nothing to do with BMC3D's printing quality. See, the same hole is in every one of these things. So I'm not really worried about it being this quality of TPU. So I do have some glue that I can stick in there, flexible glue that's safe for this kind of stuff, and I'm going to fill that hole in with some glue. I'm not even worried about that, but that is not BMC3D's fault, because it is on every single one of these things. That was in the file itself, and that's, you know, whoever made that file on Thingiverse is the one that made that problem there. These have a really nice print quality as well. Everything here has a nice print quality. Kind of like the texturing on here. I didn't think I would like just a really smooth top. The smoothness would come from the different angle of printing, but I do like that texture. It actually gives it some character there. Okay, and the print quality, and this is really good. Everything's really nice here. It's no problems with quality whatsoever. Even this thing here, I mean, you bend it, there's no cracking, no separating, nothing like that. It looks really, really good. Okay, so now I did order these all. I ordered these all with 100% fill, so they are going to be a little heavier than like the standard prints. I think, if I'm not mistaken, BMC3D is like 80% fill, but I'm not absolutely positive on that. Don't quote me on that. You'll have to check into it, but you can't ask them for 100% fill. That's what I did. That makes these things a little bit heavier. So I want to go through and just run the weights on these. Okay, and let's start with the bumper. The front bumper is 4.7 grams. The little camera mounts, they're going to be in a pair anyway, so let's do them as a pair. 1.6, 1.7. Got a little bit of a breeze because my central air blower is going. The heat going in the house and everything. Antenna tube holder, 1.7 grams. And then we got these prop strike protectors. These come in a set of 4, so 2.3 grams is one. Let's get all 4 of them on there. 8.9 grams. Well, that's getting pretty heavy here. All right, let's go with these, see if I can get all these on here. Each one of these is 5.1 grams. Let's go ahead and try to get all 4 of them on there. Balance that on there. See if I can balance this one on here. Oop. Slipped off. And it's not going to cooperate here. There we go. 20.2 grams for all 4 of them. And then these here, each one is 10.4. So 20.8, 21 grams. Okay. So that's quite a bit of weight that I'm putting on this quad, but I want to see about all this at the same time, except for these micro camera mounts, because of course if you get a smaller camera, you're going to take weight off of your camera to begin with. You'll just be adding that couple of grams there. So let's see, that's all together. Let's try to get these all in here nice and neat. All is one. See how much weight I'm actually adding to this quad. Probably a lot more than I want to, because I do want to be running some larger batteries as well. Get a rough estimate of all these parts. Okay, 56.7 grams rough estimate. That's not light, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much with a 5-inch quad, what I got built here. It's going to have some effect, but I don't think it's going to be that big of an effect. But I'd rather be protecting, things on the quad. Sacrifice a little weight and performance just for that, because this is for freestyle. This is not for any racing or anything like that. But I am planning on moving up from the 1550 batteries that I use on this to the 2000 milliamp. And those weigh probably about 30 grams more. I think it's 30 grams more. I think it's 177 for the 1550s and 2010 or something like that, or 210 for the 2000s. So anyway, here's all the parts that I ordered, including the extras. And thanks BMC for the extras. And hey guys, I tell you what, the price on these things was not bad. Was not bad at all. I did compare it to a couple other places, and BMC3D was cheaper, and they do apparently have some very good print quality. So let's get these things on this quad, and I will show you what it looks like afterwards. So there's not, if you build quads or do anything maintenance on your quads, it's kind of self-explanatory how these things would go on if you do have a Badger frame. So I'm not going to go through that whole process and make the video longer than necessary. So I'll just show you the results after I'm done putting all these on. Okay, we're back, and here it is, all assembled. Not particularly fond of the red. Black is my favorite color, but I got the red because if one of these things happens to fall off, it'd be a lot easier to find in the red color than it would be in the black color. But you see how this all goes together. Got the zip ties on there, and that zip tie is going right up around the prop strike protector. And I had to do 2 zip ties over here, one for the bumper, the arm protector, and one for the other side of the zip tie. Now if this arm protector, prop strike protector was actually 8 millimeters longer, I could use one zip tie secure that and the arm protector over here. So here's the front bumper. I did manage to get that on there, and nothing is in the view of the camera. So that's working out quite well so far. The arm protectors, as you can see, that none of the screws go into the arm protector. This arm protector just sits around the screws. So that's a good thing there. You don't have to mess with anything like that. And same thing here. These skids here, actually, the screws are not affected by these at all. And the antenna tube holder. See how it sits right on the rear mount, the rear tower, and it's not going anywhere. It is just a absolute perfect fit right there on that tower. So it looks pretty nice. I mean, I would prefer it to all be black, but what are you going to do if you want to try to find your parts if they happen to come off? But I don't think these things are going to be coming off too easily. The only thing I'd be concerned about is the prop strike protectors, or maybe even these skids down here, but each one of these things, 2 zip ties would have to give way for them to come off. So I think my next order will be all black ones. Once these wear out or get damaged enough, I'll just order a whole black set and redo the whole thing. But one thing I got to tell you, you do have to take your motors off, motor screws out, to get these arm protectors on, because they just will not stretch over and slide over the screws, especially if you have the cap heads. These are the pan head screws. So I still had to take those off to get this on there, make it snap on good. So otherwise, the only other thing I had to take loose was, of course, my top plate and the rear towers, and I had to take this whole front, not the whole front, but the bar that goes across here underneath the cage. I had to take that out, and I had to readjust my camera. So everything still looks good. I mean, there's still camera protection here. It's not too bad, and looks like it's going to work out quite well. And being that it's TPU, this stuff should last quite a while. It seems to take quite a bit of a beating from what my experience is with TPU. So there it is, guys. The completed, put back together with all the BMC3D prints. And that's what it looks like now. So thanks for watching. And hey, if you guys need anything from BMC3D, I'd definitely hit them up. If you need anything 3D printed, they did a really good job with this stuff, and I'm quite happy with it. They're actually a little bit cheaper than some other places when it comes to price. So give them a shout if you need anything 3D printed, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching.